welcome back to Sim YouTube channel. This is a channel where I try to share everything about our Malaysia real estate latest news, knowledge, and also new property launches sometime. And of course, lately I've also included some of my lifestyle vlog. But today in this episode, I'm going to share about an interesting article which I came across, which I think would be of a high value to you as a property owner or future property owner. Recently, I came across an article which read that a home buyer in Malaysia got his property foreclosed by his bank, but it was not due to him defaulting on his mortgage loan. In fact, he doesn't even have a mortgage loan to begin with because he paid cash for his home. So this article actually caught my interest as I was curious to know what's the real reason behind the foreclosure of his home. So after reading the full article, today I decided to share this piece of information with you, and I believe that with this new information, it will make you and me a better and informed consumer thereafter. Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you know that banks can initiate foreclosure proceedings against us, the home buyer, even if we have not defaulted on our home loan, or even if we do not have a mortgage loan to begin with? Yes, you heard me right.
What the fuck?
The bank in Malaysia has the right to foreclose our homes or property on us, even if the original developer whom we bought the property from defaulted on their loan. And it's 100% legal because this developer usually they secured their loans by using our houses as the collateral. So this problem arises because under our existing prescribed sale and purchase agreement drafted by our Housing and Local Ministry, it allows developers to build houses with the installment of the purchase price paid by purchaser from the day we sign on the SPA or Sales and Purchase Agreement. On top of that, these developers are also allowed to borrow from banks on the security of all these purchasers' property in the form known as bridging loan. Usually, these developers take up this bridging loan in order to enable them to meet all the initial expenses of housing development, which makes sense, right? So this scenario is as good as we as the purchaser who bought a house from the developer ended up handing back our property to this developer to create another charge on it for their benefits. So if this developer do not settle their loan, then we as the purchaser would risk losing our house and we would be completely helpless to do anything against it. So was there any justice in this? Unfortunately, this is what it is currently in the law. So we may ask which purchaser in our right mind would consent to that, right? But yeah, all of us did whenever we buy an under construction property from a developer. So today what I'm going to discuss is that how do you as a purchaser protect yourself against falling victims into such situation. Today, you and me can protect ourselves by always firstly taking up a mortgage loan even though we have the cash to buy it. Okay, we should at least take up a small portion of loan. Why? Because this is so that the bank will do all the due diligence hard work on our behalf. Okay, so for buyers who take up an end financing loan from the bank would only pay up to a maximum of 50%, which is the 10% down payment plus the 40% under the third schedule progressive payment. And the bank would not be paying any further payment beyond the first 50% of the purchase price until and unless the developer could show proof to the purchasers and financier that the bridging loan has been fully settled and the property is now unencumbered. If we were to refer to the Sales and Purchase Clause 3, it stated there now provides for monies in excess of 50% to be not payable until the redemption sum is fully paid by the developer. This clause, I believe, is to act as a mechanism to motivate developers to use the monies collected from the first three stages, which is stage 2A, 2B and 2C of the third schedule, which total up about 35% of the purchase price to be utilized for the payments of their redemption sum. But imagine if today you were a cash buyer, would you be aware of the existence of such a clause in your sales and purchase agreement? And would you have had exercised this right in your favor? I don't think so, right? So, on recent, I read that the National House Buyers Association has made complaints to the minister and those under his charge about buyers, especially cash buyers, becoming victims in losing their homes as a result of foreclosure proceedings taken against them by banks to recover loans taken by developers secured using the buyers' houses bought from the same developers because the said developers did not settle the loan taken by them. So now, points worth pondering. While I was also thinking, in this instance, if the bank need to foreclose the homes of this buyer due to the developer failed to settle the bridging loan taken by them earlier, does this mean that this developer still managed to fully build the project with only 50% monies collected from the purchasers and financier and plus the pre-sale or the bridging loan taken up by them earlier? I would think so. Most likely, if this developer were to default on their bridging loan, very highly likely they would have abandoned the project halfway too. So this means these home buyers are left with a half-completed property and yet will still charged with foreclosure of an incomplete property by the bank.
What the fuck?
What a joke, right? So, anyone here, if you can shed light on this, most welcome to comment and share over here, yeah? So, in conclusion, after I read this article, I would say never buy an under construction property using 100% cash. Even if we have the money, we should still take up a small portion of loan as a form of protection for ourselves against any potential unscrupulous developer. Can we say that we have more faith in our financial institution compared to the developer? In my opinion, banks operate in a highly regulated environment. Hence, I do think that they are more trustworthy. And of course, always also buy from a highly reputable, if possible, public listed developer, especially for under construction property. And lastly, I do hope that our financial institution could also in the near future, in order to protect cash buyers from these unscrupulous developers from cheating the system, I hope that the end financier would make it mandatory for developers to report if they have signed up any cash buyers. Okay, that's the end. If you have watched until this far, congratulations, well done for you. And before I end this video, as always, be safe in investing but be aggressive in our learning. Okay, bye bye and see you in my next video. Bye.